Mushoku Tensei shows us what magic is like for normal people. What do you mean I have to spend 10 seconds chanting and holding my arms out to cast a spell? That's bullshit. Magic is boring. Why? I'll explain that, but first, you have to listen to this. You're born in the city of Sharia, in Ranoa, one of the 3 great magic nations. You want to become a magician, so you have to study a lot, practice the spells, and then in your adulthood, you go like, hey, I want to try adventuring.
Sir, can you hear me?
For a magician, it takes memorization, time, and skill to cast spells. When attacked by a horde of monsters, would you have enough wits to chant a spell? If you mess up a word, your whole incantation gets thrown out the window. Let the great protection of fire be on the place thou? Fuck. With that much risk, would you really want to be a magician? Or a handsome, fit, strong, and reliable swordsman? It's no wonder there are way more swordsmen than magicians in Mushoku Tensei, and that difference is much higher in adventuring. So I think magicians and swordsmen spend the same amount of time training until they're good enough to go out and adventure. If you want to be cool, strong, and famous, it'd probably be better to become a swordsman. It's like a competition between those old guns where you have to reload before shooting again, and that takes a long time, versus someone with a knife or a sword. The time to attack, basically. There are special cases like Roxy's who've managed to shorten incantations, but it's still not mainstream. This means that 99% of magicians still have to recite the whole chant, which sucks. Timothy is a great recent example that we see. He said a really long incantation before his fire spell was activated. He also had to hold both arms up to focus the magic, leaving him completely vulnerable to any attacks. But it does pay off because he unleashes a strong fire spell from a distance, kinda like a sniper. He's a man in his late 20s or early 30s, I can't tell, and after all this time, he's only specialized in fire magic and some earth magic. That's not bad actually, that's quite decent for an adventurer, because it's extremely difficult to be able to use all the elements at an advanced level for a normal person. But then Chadius just comes in with his chantless magic spells and avatar powers where he can bend the 4 elements and breaks the whole system. Nah, I kid. There's been a few chantless magicians in Mushoku Tensei. So there was an old teacher in the Ranoa Magic Academy that Timothy knew of, but he passed away. And then we have Sophie. But it's still so rare that people think that you're joking. I think it's kind of like saying you have a really high IQ, something like 300, and people say that's not true, but then you just prove it. On the flip side, we do get to see why magic is freaking amazing. Even with the basics, your survival needs are guaranteed. Assume you're stranded in the woods. You're thirsty? Just create some drinking water using water magic. Rudius has done this so many times in the series, no joke. Like, how is no one taught at least water magic as a basic means of living? It is broken. Hey, I think it's getting quite chilly in here, so you whip up a campfire to warm yourself up. You could sleep on the ground, open to any monster attacks in the middle of the night. Or you could just create a badass shelter using earth magic. With wind, just change the entire weather in it. Random fact, did you know that it's more common to see couples being a male swordsman and a female adventurer? It falls into the stereotype of men being these jacked warriors who fight at the front and women as magicians that support them from behind. But we're here to change the norms. We have mommy Eris at the front and daddy Rudius to help out with magic, a deadly combo. So unless you know chantless magic, using it as an adventurer may be riskier than just being a swordsman. But we cannot deny that magic is so useful, and the smart thing would be to teach very basic magic to everyone at a young age, which becomes helpful in the future.